and good evening, everybody. Apologies for the slightly late start. I got distracted. However, we're here, we're ready to race, we're in the ARCA cars, and we're all the way out in Sin City. That's right, it's time to roll the dice in Vegas. And that should mean a fun night of racing, both for our drivers and for you, the spectators. Because these cars are fun. Unfortunately, these cars are also just a little bit hard on tires. We take a look at that last time out. I only did a couple of laps and I wore my tires down in a hurry. So let's go out. Well, we still have practice time here. We can go over the drivers and their paint schemes tonight as the night goes on. We've only got a few minutes left in the practice session to take you guys for a lap around here in the ARCA car. The last time we saw the ARCA car was at Rockingham. A bumpy one-ish mile track, a little bit smaller than this. They were fun, but they were wicked loose. Here we've got the opposite problem. These things are tight. And I'm talking like tight, Robin Hood men in tights tight. That is, it is a pushy track. These cars like to drive up the banking with old tires. We certainly have no problems keeping the rear planted at the start of the run. Vegas, a very cookie cutter style mile-and-a-half track. All about being smooth. There's my fastest lap of the session by 1/1000th of a second, which tells you the kind of finite kind of times we're looking at here tonight. The trick with this track is to turn it in about that light. You see up there, that wheel and safety light out on the outside catch fence. Right down to the apron. You can even touch it. It won't really upset the car. The momentum rolling on the high side. You can see I've only done 3 laps, already losing 1/10 of a second per lap thanks to tire wear. And the same thing, drive it in deep. I might have been a little too deep. Whoa! Keep in mind, these are in essence Gen 6 cars, making a whole crap load of power, and they can get loose, but only if you touch the apron. So if we see anybody tail wagging tonight, it's going to be, we know they got down onto that apron of the racetrack. Luckily, I sustained no damage from that incident. Make sure I don't drive it in quite so hard this time. Drafting will be important, but so will tire wear, because this is kind of like a mix of an intermediate and a super speedway with the way these ARCA cars drive, and they are fun. As you saw, I was actually able to save the wreck. So these are definitely drivers' cars. Early in the run, you can really, wow, drive it down the hill, but you can already see how much I'm losing the grip on the exit of the drive off of 2. It is a hold it wide, flat open kind of track with these cars because of how much grip they have. However, that may not necessarily stand when you're in traffic. Oh, keep it off that apron there. Do a couple more laps here. There is a middle groove, kind of right here. Does make your exit a little smoother, but it is the longer way around. Don't expect to see people make passes on the high side tonight. This is a low side passing track. There's a middle high groove up here on the high side of the corner. And there's even a line. Whoa, hey! My old tires weren't able to hold that. And there's even a fence line. That's kind of middle fence. I can do a little better than that. Let's try that again. Appears as though nobody else on track except for Greenlee right now. Right out, even here I touched the wall just slightly there. No need to lift it. However, you can't enter like that and expect to make good lap time. We'll try that high line lap one more time. This doesn't work as good with these cars. Right back down onto the apron where this car likes to be. Whoa! Hey now. That'll be the other style of wreck we see here tonight. The wall tap. How's that for keeping from wrecking it? Alright. After that close call, I didn't really scorch the tires too bad. Let's see what our wear is on those tires. Great job by me keeping it off the fence there. I'm impressed with myself. That run burned 88% of the right front tire and 87% of the left and 85% of the rear. So I'm doing a good job driving it off that right side. Yeah, I did do a little bit of a burnout there on that, so that might have contributed a little bit to that right rear tire wear. 280, yeah. But a good job all around keeping that tire wear even. That's what our drivers will be looking for tonight. Speaking of our drivers, let's go through the driver list here as I switch off of my driving wheel into my commentating wheel. That way I can still have a radio button, of course. Track map is up on screen. What's the best camera angle we have here? TV one's too close. Probably be sticking with TV too. Alright. Got a bunch of different people out here on track. Uh-oh. Those two cars look close to each other. Oh my god! Oh! Big wreck! Big wreck in turn 3, and it was intentional. That's gonna hurt. My guess is, oh, because the state is checkered flagged, so that will be the end of the session. We'll go over it.
Brad Keselowski, driver of the Penske Racing Dodge. Kyle Busch is an ass.
From the good old days. So let's go through our drivers here and see what everybody's running. As always, in the number 5 car, he's our one-armed bandit of the league. In the, I think that's a Hendrick number 5-esque number from back in the day. That is the Pepsi Max. Oh, it's a Casey Kane scheme. That's why I recognize that number. As always, though, it's the number 5 Chevrolet SS. That is Derek Hilker. In the number 8 Toyota Camry, it's the golden black machine with the Moza Racing livery. That is Gary Greenlee. He has upgraded to a Moza system recently, and it looks like he's doing a little bit of free advertisement for him. Also in the Moza Racing camp, it's another Camry. That's the 10, which is, as always, is driven by Brian Moore. Looks like those are our only 3 cars on track. We'll see here. Nobody has set a lap time yet. Track temperature very low, 69 degrees Fahrenheit, which is A, nice, and B, very nice for the drivers, because the lower the track temp, the more grip you have. First car to set a time, Hilker will go top of the board, of course being first. 29.577. Let's see what the others have to give as he puts in his second lap. Uh-oh. Well, there's Greenlee. Greenlee comes around 29.685. Solid lap from Greenlee there, only about a 10th off of Hilker. Greenlee also running a little bit of a higher line, so it'll be interesting to see if he can best that time. Hilker across the line, shuts it down. He goes better. 29.453 as Brian Moore comes in. 29.687 with his first lap. Just edging out Greenlee. Greenlee coming around. Nope, he's already done his second lap, and it was 29.8. Oh my golly, what a wreck. That's gotta hurt. 29.818, not faster on the second time around for Greenlee. More, though. Improves 29.523, but not enough to take the pole, as our drivers are really enjoying crashing their cars after their qualifying efforts. No other drivers attempting qualifying yet. Not sure why. We do have two other drivers in this session. Unfortunately, no Frank Weinset tonight or Cameron Romano, so that does leave us 2 drivers short. We are going to have a small field here this evening, as the others are not going to qualify, most likely, unless they've decided to come out of pit road, which they have not. Let's take a look at the info tonight. Weather's going to be clear, of course. Can't race NASCAR in the rain. We are running the ARCA cars, the SS, the Mustang, and the Camry. We are running 69 Fahrenheit on the track temperature. It will only get colder from here because, of course, we are racing into the night, which means the temperatures will continue to fall. Event rules. We do have unlimited tire sets. Every driver has 1 fast repair and a fuel limit of about 70%, which adds up to right on about, if I remember correctly, 30-ish laps of fuel, maybe 35. Let's actually get in and take a look at that fuel load. Oh, did I go past? Yep, 33. 13.1 gallons. Looks like at my pace I can do about 33. So, of course, all other drivers will be not exactly that way, but close to it.
Do a little bit of a drivers' meeting here. We all know the rules. Choose rules in effect. Choose restart zones in effect, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. 17 incident points equals drive-through. 26 equals DQ. We all know this. And by the way, we've been instructed to give Trevor Lapierre grief for not realizing his iRacing subscription had lapsed, and he was trying to pay and could not get in. So let's all give a big laugh to Trevor Lapierre.
Whoops. So Trevor Lapierre was trying to make the grid and missed it.
And the stage is on lap 32.
Stage break lap 32 this evening. All competitors will be required to make a 4-tire fuel or 4-tire stop with fuel, of course. So that will be interesting to see how our drivers use that to their advantage. Right there is the danger and the advantage of having somebody close to follow. I'm faster than more, but that also almost ran me wide to the fence because I lost the front grip of the car. Managed to draft. Ow. Also managed not beating the car up. Hey now. Did a little over-under on Mr. Moore there. He's going to get a run on me coming off here. I got to make sure I throw a good block on here after coming into one. Hilker going to make that difficult. No! Can I get it to stick? I'm loose. Come on! Woo! And that's why these cars are fun to run. Hilker going to take the high side there. Thinks he can hang on to it up there, but I've got the better. Well, maybe not. Oh, right there. What a. Whoa! Man, we're all just throwing haymakers out here. This is fun. See, I can exit off that high side and get a better run on Hilker. Whoa! Woo, I thought I was clearing him a little more than that. Ah, come on. I faked him out. I got him to go high. Oh, man, that's why these cars are so much fun. Look at the battles you can have with your competitors. Just absolutely throwing haymakers, fake outs, and the car has enough grip to do it. But during that run, like right there, I'm actually getting, I take it back, I am getting slightly loose in this car now. Oh, come on! Man, I was having so much fun, too. That sucks. Gary! I think the motor's... Nope. We continue, the steering's... Oh yeah, I can't steer it though. The steering doesn't have any effect on the car. Okay. Darn. Well, that was fun.
Caution's out. Caution's out. Line up behind the pace car.
Yes, it was. Caution was indeed out. That tire run, battling with everybody for those only two, what was that, 2 laps I did battle with those guys. And tires, I used up 6% of them in like 2 laps. Man, this is going to be some good racing tonight. I'm excited.
All right, let's go ahead and turn off the engines for a second. All right, guys, we're here at beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And, of course, let's please remember the fallen hero, Chuck Norris. And to give the order today, the C of CSC, Chris Hood.
Ladies and gentlemen, start them engines.
Chris Hood with the command tonight. So, let's go through your starting lineup. Your pole sitter in the number 5 Casey Kane Pepsi Max car. It's the Chevrolet SS of Derek Hilker. To his right, outside row 1, it's the number 10 Moser Racing Toyota Camry. That is Brian Moore. Inside row 2, it's the number 8 Gold and Black Machine, sporting the new Moza logos with his new sim tonight. He had it last week too, but we didn't get to talk about him much. But we're curious to see what he can get done with that number 8 car tonight. That's the Toyota Camry of Gary Greenlee. To his outside, you've seen him here before. He doesn't run every single week, but he's definitely made some headlines, winning a couple races here and there. That is the number 19. I cannot read what that... The Granite Group. There it is. I recognize that from one of his other liveries. That is the number 19 Granite Group Toyota Camry of Zach Davidson, who did not qualify. He will start from outside row 2. And your last and final qualifier, all the way in the back, the lone Ford. 1 Chevy, 1 Ford, 3 Toyotas tonight. A bit of an uneven dispersion. But he's the lone Ford in that hand-drawn Sharpie.
Remember, initial start is on green.
Yep. But in the hand-drawn Sharpie marker machine. That's the number 13 of Chris Hood. Pace car is going to peel off here and head towards pit road. They're going to stack him and rack him. 32 laps to the stage break, 80 in total tonight. Green flag is out. We're away and racing here at Vegas. Ooh. 2 by 2 they go. Davidson up out of the groove after a little wall tap there. He's going to fall into the back side of that third lane. as they all immediately jump single file. 5 car goes to block the 10 down low. Ten car, oh, he must have jumped the start. He's got to go to pit road. Hate to see it for him. That means the 5 car leads lap 1, and the 13, look at Chris Hood. From last to challenging for the lead in just 1 lap. It may not be a small, it may be a small field, but that's still an impressive run to go from 5th to 2nd in 1 lap. He's looking at trying to take this thing right to Hilker's door with the fight. Hilker leads the 2nd lap. Hood and Greenlee in close pursuit. Davidson falling back from him just a little bit. Hopefully he didn't do any damage. 8 car gets a little piece of that apron. Did he hold it? He did. Good save by the 8. 2-horse race up front for the moment. 5 and 13 putting on a good show. 13 running a little bit higher. He's got to try to keep that nose in the clean air. If he gets stuck up behind the 5 car for too long, he's gonna regret it, because that's gonna wear those front tires out. And unlike the normal Cup cars, this is the only NASCAR sanctioned series that does not run on Goodyear rubber. That's right, these cars are sitting on a set of General tires from, of course, the General Tire Company. Well, General tires are certainly not a bad set of tires. They are not the longest lasting. We have found that out with the ARCA cars before. The tires wear out quickly and they are easy to burn up. And once they do, good luck driving it. You're on a greased pig of a car. Hood and Greenlee staying right with the 5 of Hilker. Unable to drive away. Look at the run. Hood's getting off the outside exit of the corner. 13 car going to poke his nose. He's going to the apron. 5 had the advantage at the line, but, ooh, a little bit of chin music. Door to door they go. 5 car gets pushed up out of the groove. 13 a Hood to the lead. 8's going to follow him through. And all this fighting has let the 19 catch up to the field. 19 back into the fight. Hilker going to go low on him, try to get down past. All they do is door slam, though, and 19's got the advantage. Last time by, the 5 car let it. This time, almost dead last. 2nd to dead last. Moore, of course, still on track. He's over off in the no man's land at the moment. He is 1 lap down. However, he is the only car 1 lap down. So, at the first sign of a caution or the stage break, he will be able to get that lap back as Greenlee goes up against the fence, grinds the right rear quarter off of it. Hang on to it, Gary. Chris Hood, your leader again this time by. So far, there may be 3 Toyotas in this race, but it's been all bow ties and Mustangs out front, as the only 2 lap leaders tonight have been Hood and Hilker. However, Zach Davidson looks like he wants to change that. Don't be surprised to see that Toyota Camry start to come into the mix here very soon. I like the way he's able to drive the corner, especially in 3 and 4. Everybody else is doing the high, low, high thing. Enter high, apex middle, and then exit high again. He can't do it this time by because he's got Hilker on his outside. However, what Davidson was doing was different. He was entering super high, apexing middle, and exiting low, using the banking like a big hill and actually getting momentum from the banking, driving down it, which you'd think wouldn't matter that much, but it can really change the attitude of a race car. This time, Davidson's going to have that preferred line he likes. See if he can drive it off the corner. He does. Gets an advantage on the 5 car, and he drives right up to the bumper of the 13. Here we go. He's going to do it again, probably. Nope. This time decides smartly to keep that nose in clean air versus trying to cut across the wake of the 13. Door slam at the line. 13 still has the advantage. However, 19 coming strong. And just like that, 19 out to the lead. New leader, and it's a Toyota. Oh, no! Caution, caution, caution. See, that looked like just a little bit of good save there. Yep. Hilker just got into the back with 13. My guess is 13 got just a little bit tight or loose off the corner. Shouldn't be too terribly much damage on that 13 car. Looks like just a little bit of a light tappy tap. Hilker saying sorry in the game chat there, of course. Good show of sportsmanship. Certainly didn't intend to spin him out there. I think the 13 was just a little slower on exit than the 5 really anticipated him being. And it caught him off guard. Luckily, no harm, no foul. Brian, did it give you the lucky dog candidate like it was supposed to?
Yep, it did.
Just wanted to make sure it was working. So that will give the 10 car the Lucky Dog Award. That will get him back on the lead lap after jumping the start. And that'll bring us back to a 5-car race. These cars putting on a great show here tonight so far. I will be surprised if anybody stays out here. Davidson does. Interesting strategy. We have unlimited tires, so I'm surprised. The 10 car I get staying out. He's got to stay out to get that Lucky Dog Award. So no harm, no foul there. But I don't understand why the 19 stayed out. It's not the stage break yet, and new tires mean so much. I mean, last lap times. Let's go look at the last laps here. Look at the tire fall off. 29.889, 30.02, 29.29. I mean, we're losing, you know, a quarter to a half a second on these older tires. I am very surprised to see these a driver not come in for fresh rubber. Maybe he thinks just cooling them down and getting the temperatures down will be enough.
Choosing this time by. Choosing this time by.
And do remember, from the restart zone to the start-finish line, you can make one clear move. Zigzagging around will get you sent to the back of the line. So 19, without pitting, assumes the lead, or retains it, I should say. 5 car, your first car off a pit road. 8, 13, and then of course the 10. 10 car not going to take tires here. He's just going to stay out there and rough it with the old stuff. Davidson high. I'm not sure what those 3 in the back chose. Oh, that's why, because we weren't there yet. Okay. So that'll give the 19 and the 13 to the high side. So we've got the 5, the 8, the 10 on the low side, and then the 13 and the 19 on the high side. If only the 13 and 19 were reversed, we'd actually have them in perfect numerical order. Pace lights are off on the generic iRacing pace car. Don't ask me why we're not using the Mustang tonight. I don't know either. I never set these lobbies up. I just call them, but I know I always try to use the...
Restart will be on the leader in the restart zone. The control car is Zach Davidson in the 19.
Correct. So, Davidson, since we do the choose, he is control car despite being the outside. Pace car is going to peel off. And here we go. Davidson fires off. No current penalties, so that's good. Davidson, great start using the banking to his advantage. He gets out. Despite those old tires, he rocketed right off. But don't be surprised to see the 5 car, 8 and the 13 I'll just drive right up to him here. Uh-oh. Heard somebody, yeah, must have been Hood. Got a little piece of that outside safer barrier. Davidson putting on a clinic so far, even on the old tires. He's able to drive away from these guys. That's amazing. Whoa, big moment there for Moore. Good save. He keeps it off the wall. Davidson, Hilker, and Hood. Then it's a two-car battle for the last position with the 8 and the 10. I think they had a moment. That's what got the 10 out of line. If I'm Chris Hood or Derek Hilker right now, I think they're trying to fight with each other over position. I think it's slowing them down enough that Davidson's able to keep the gap to him. They need to run different lines through the corners and then meet on the straightaways to take advantage of the draft and advantage of the clean air. That way they can work together without slowing each other down. Currently, they've made no ground on the 19 car. 4/10 of a second last time by, and it's still 4/10 of a second. Although, I say that, this time by, they might have got a 10th back. Maybe 2. Across the line, this time by, 2/10. Now they're starting to work together. New tires starting to become the advantage. Davidson's tires getting hotter quicker. Whoa! Hang on to her, Zach. Great save by the 19 there. It gets very loose after touching the apron. I was wondering if those new tires were going to hold out to the stage break. And they did. Well, I was going to say they didn't hold up, but take a look at this. Davidson drives right back up to second. After almost losing the car in turn 1 last time by, he gets the car gathered up, gets a good run through 3 and 4. Off turn 4 they come, or off turn 2 rather. Davidson's back to second. He's going to make another run at the leader here. Unreal. Hilker, your pole sitter, back where he started out in the lead. Wasn't really sure what that 19 car would have, considering he didn't qualify. But they are making the most of it here with this little three-way battle they got going on. It's getting to be pretty entertaining. I like watching this. It's fun to see who's going to try what and what over-under strategies. These cars being so aero-dependent and not 100%, but slightly limited on horsepower based on how they, being the D series in NASCAR, they don't make massive amounts of horsepower. As Davidson works that high line, he gets back up to the lead, even on the old tires. 19 back to the point once again, and he's doing it on the fence. Ooh, as though you don't want to run up there. Oh, man. 3 cars right under a blanket there. Almost 3 wide at the line. Caution's out, caution's out. Greenlee throws the caution flag. Oh, dear. Greenlee threw the caution flag, and now I see why. Smacks the outside wall. Oh! Yeah, and he was up onto the track and couldn't...
Can you look at how close me and the 5 were? Because I think I should have got the position.
Holy crap. Yeah. Chris, you're right. I just went back and reviewed it. iRacing's thing screwed that up. You had him at the moment of caution. It must be going off the last scoring loop instead.
I knew I was right.
My guess is it doesn't go off moment of caution. It goes off last scoring loop crossed, like it does in real life, rather than it does off the caution light itself. Hilker decides to stay out of pit road this time by. Does not bring the 5 car down to the attention of his crew. He faked him out. TV2. And bonk. Bad news, guys. We had somebody in the chat who was offering free viewers via Stream Boo, but I accidentally blocked him, so now we can't get it.
By the way, that's auto-modded where it doesn't, says allow or deny. It doesn't ever go to the chat.
Yeah, I know. I just saw it, and I'm like, hey, look at that. I get to bonk another bot. Alright, Hilker said he will pit. Not sure. I mean, he said he's going to pit, but it's this time by. Of course, Greenlee not going to be on the lead lap as he gets his car towed back to the garage. Shouldn't be too much longer. His fast repair. Yep, there he goes. He's rolling off. He'll be about a half a lap behind the leaders, but hopefully he can stay those couple of laps down only. Oh, Hilker. Not sure where he was going there. Okay, all drivers have chosen the low side. Kind of unique. Oh, Greenlee's going to almost catch the field. How about that? All right, we're back green. Hilker, after not pitting, has the advantage. He's out front. Davidson on fresh rubber now for the first time tonight. Hood on fresh rubber, and so is Moore in the 10 finally. Moore, of course, had to forgo that first pit stop to get back onto the lead lap. He's now learning the struggles of what it's like to fight in the back of the traffic. He'll have to find a way to keep the nose of that Camry in some fresh air and keep some downforce over that front splitter. Greenlee will be looking for a wreck here sooner rather than later, he's hoping, I'm sure. He is currently out of the picture, and he needs at least 2 cautions to get back into the race. And he needs somebody else to not fall off the lead lap to get those 2 cautions. Davidson drives back up past the 5 car. But the 5 car's not taking it easy. '19, though, just so good in that middle groove. Keeps the momentum wound up. 19 car pulls it off. Do keep in mind, we've only got about 4 or 5 laps till the stage break. And everybody will be coming down for 4 tires and fuel on a mandatory pit stop. Now it's time for the 5 and 13 to do battle for that second position. And the roles are going to switch. The 13 goes low, the 5 goes high, rather than the 5 on the low side like we've seen in the battles with the 19. Well, unfortunately, it looks like the 5 car... Nah, well, maybe this time he's looking a little better. Whoa, they touch! Wow, door banging all the way off of 4, all the way to the start-finish. Brian Moore is loving what he's seeing here because he needs these 2 to keep fighting. so he can try to set up the pass and get those two positions before the stage break. Moore going to try to look on the low side of the 13. I think he's going to get him. Gets the 13 all the way up onto the high side. Now it's the 10 on the bottom. Still side by side off of 2. 5 car being finally clear of the 13 is settled in, trying to chase that the 19 back down. Meanwhile, the 10 and the 13 are still throwing sliders at each other. Great racing back here for the 3rd position. Door to door, that makes 1 full lap. They've been side by side now. Oh, and that is the end of the stage. The battle was so good, I didn't realize it was already over. Greenlee will, of course, get 1 of his laps back now. He'll have to hope for a second caution to get his second lap back. As the 19 will come around. Zach Davidson wins stage 1. Derek Hilker will get 2nd. Hood 3rd. Moore 4th. Greenlee will bring home 5th.
Pace car on turn 1.
That will collect the field. Reminder, mandatory 4-tire and fuel pit stop on this caution. All the drivers going to stack up here. Hilker giving the 19 a little bit of bumper music. Even under caution, giving each other a little bit of hard time. The 8 car will be making his pit stop, but he will come down the next time by, as coming down now voids his lucky dog. So we will watch these 4 drivers get their pit stops taken care of. There are the 8s released. These 4 drivers will come down to the attention of their crews. All right, they're off the pit road and down and away. Hood having an extended stay on pit road here. Maybe he has some light damage to fix. Not sure on that. We'll keep eyes on the 13 car here as he sits on pit road. Here comes Greenlee. He got the wave around. There's Hood down and away. And now Greenlee with his 4-tire stop. Right side's up. Down. Left side's up. There it is. Down and away. That's all 5 cars serviced and ready. Back to the TV2 camera here. 19's going to take the high side. 10's going to go low. 5 car's going to forfeit his position on track to come down for a fuel stop here. Makes me wonder if the 5 car is looking at making it on 1 more stop. 13 car is choosing the low side. The 8 car also riding the low lane. That will put the 5 pitting out. Well, pretty much. Oh yeah, because Greenlee has to start at the back of the field since he got the lucky dog, so he will sacrifice his position. I'll put one car on the low side, or high side, and 4 on the low. Very uneven dispersion here. Question is, the 19 should be the control car here. So, how is this going to work? Pace car's off. Great jump by the 19 car. No current penalties. We are away and racing. I always make sure when we have a choose that I clear penalties because I don't want anybody getting penalized for being in the wrong lane or something. And for the first time all night, we've got 5 cars lined up in a row. Let's see how they can do battle. Put on a show. 19 car leads over the 10 or more. 13 Hood close behind. The 5 and the 8 slicing and dicing for that final position. 19 running that middle line he's so good at right now. That Toyota just sits so good on that center line for him. Seems to be he can carry more speed than just about anybody else with that middle exit line. Moore going to try the low side. Hood trying to get any air he can between the two of them. Excuse me. Apologies, I have not felt well today and I'm nursing a headache, so the sleepies are getting to me. Still rocking that high side, but don't look now. Here comes Brian Moore trying to take it back on the low. Davidson has shifted up to the high lane, almost running fence. And it does seem to be a little bit slower for him. 13 going to try to ride the coattails of the 10 all the way through. See if he can take the second position away from that 19 now. Whoa, don't hit that apron. Super close racing from these 3 drivers. And Hilker's catching the draft. He wants to make it a 4-man party. I know these drivers are definitely running that high lane, trying to mitigate their tires, is what I have to assume is the goal. Because the speed is on the low side. We know that from practice. Oh, Davidson gets a piece of the wall. Small bump, though. Looks like the car is okay. Oh, and again. 10 and the 19 both get a little piece of it. 13 looking up on the inside. 13 gets loose off the corner. 19 scrapes the wall. Here comes the 5 car. Hilker had to wait for his moment to pounce, and he saw it. He saw that door open when those 2 got loose and drifted up the track, and he knew it was time to put the hammer down and drive it down off the bottom of the apron. '19 still up on the high line. I thought he was better in the middle, but he seems to want to run that fence now. And I honestly can relate. That's where I like to be as well, but this car is just not fast enough to rip it up there. As you can see, the 19 gets a wiggle off too. Keeps it together though. Slots back into the 3rd position. Chris Hood falling well back behind. He was all the way up towards the front here a few laps ago, but he's now dragging in 5th, trying to get back ahead. Excuse me, 4th technically. Greenlee's still 1 lap down. Running last in the row on the track to see what he can do with that number 13. See if he can't catch the draft a little more. Oh no! Greenlee kept it together. Good save by the 8. He will lose the pack there, but since he's a lap down car, that does not hurt him for position. 10 car or more out front. After the shuffle up with the 19 and the 5, 10 car kind of just snuck his way up to the lead. Brian Moore having a tremendous recovery drive tonight after starting on the outside row and having to do a pass-through penalty for jumping the pits, for jumping the initial start. He was 1 lap down by the end of lap 20. Here he is now, 25 laps later, leading the race. But don't look now, the other 3 are coming and they are hungry. All of the top 4, every lead lap car in a close battle. Normally in a race like this with only 4 cars, you'd see a little bit more separation, but these ARCA cars are just so stinking good. They keep the racing tight and exciting. And they allow for that multiple groove racing that we love to watch so much. Hilker on the low, Moore on the middle. Oh no! No! Caution's out, caution's out, caution's out. With only 4 cars, 2-car incident is going to be worthy of a caution tonight. Hilker and Davidson caught up in that one. Let's go back and watch what happened here between those two. If I'm not mistaken, I think... Yeah, that looked like... I think Hilker thought he was clear on the high side, and Davidson was trying to take advantage of the gap he left. Let's take a look at that from the rear chase camera here of the 5-car. Yeah, you can see the angle. The 19's right on the wall here. Actually, so much so he's scraping the wall. And the 5-car's just, the gap quite isn't there. And it kind of a combination of both the 19 going for a gap that was closing too quick. And the 5-car not realizing he wasn't clear high just by a bumper. Luckily, not too much damage for these drivers.
I regret to report that Roxy did not win.
Aww. Did Spike win?
No, Spike did not win either. That is unfortunate.
Nuts. That sucks. Also, Derek, I saw that.
We already gave him the warning, don't worry.
Alright. 19, 13, 10, all coming down. This will
Granted,
get
it kind of looked valid.
the 8-car finally getting his other lap back. I'll put him back in the game. Love to see that. Watch our drivers come down to pit road here. What's this? Oh, no, there it goes. Race off of pit road. Brian Moore wins it by a wide margin. Chris Hood going to get second. Hilker backing up. Down and away is the 19 car. That'll set your top 4. Did Greenlee take... Is he coming down pit road? Or did he just blow by it? Nope, he blew right by. Okay. Or did I miss him? Did he just come off pit road? I missed him? Nope, he blew pit road. Okay, I thought so. Oh, here he comes. Now he's coming down pit road. Greenlee finally going to get his pit stop in here now. I'm sure he's been waiting on that one for a couple. He had those fresh tires at the end of stage 2. Or at the end of the stage 1 here. For stage 2. But with being trapped a lap down, he kind of couldn't get those right off the rip. So I'm sure he'll be happy to see that that opportunity has occurred. And Hilker going to come back down in his usual fashion. More than likely just to top that car off with some gasoline. Pace lights are out on the pace car coming through turn 2 right now. This will restart the race next time by. Greenlee and Hilker should have plenty of time to fix their vehicles and get them back out here with some tires and fuel and whatever else they need. Should be coming. There's Greenlee right there. better hustle up, though. There, they're coming. Hilker, of course, gets to go by the 8 as he got his lucky dog back. Alright, that'll stack the field back up. Pace car's going to pull off. This will be lap 50 of 80. 30 to go this time by. Drivers can now make it on fuel, but can their tires go the distance? Moore fires off a little late in the restart zone. Gives him a huge jump. Nope, okay. You already got all the black flags cleared. Love to see that. So it's the 10 car out front of Moore. 19 of Davidson. 13 of Hood. 5 of Hilker. And the 8 of Greenlee. And all 5 cars are back on the lead lap. It's anybody's race now. 19 going low. 10 going high. 5 car got up out of the groove there. He's going to fall out of it a little bit. 10 with the advantage that time by, but door to door, that can change lap to lap depending on how they go. Whoa! Easy, Gary. Greenlee with that freshly brought back onto the lead lap car there, almost getting in trouble and wrecking it. That's how he ended up 2 laps down the first time, was getting a big hit of the wall. And that means I know he doesn't have a fast repair left. Definitely want to be careful with that gold and black machine. Gary runs black and yellow on his cars so much, I'm surprised he doesn't have a Wiz Khalifa sponsorship somewhere on there. Maybe we'll have to get him to see if he'll do that next time. Moore and Davidson. Not a 100th between them that time by. I mean, folks, that's about as close as you can get coming by the line. How close was that? 1/1000th of a second. Davidson actually had the advantage there. Hilker out of the groove again. He's all the way at the back in 5th. Think he might have some damage on that 5 car. Moore's better through the middle of the corner. Oh, again! Golly, these guys are putting on a show. Door to door they go. Greenlee and Hood trying to get up there to duke it out with them. But these 2 up front just will not give it up. Davidson runs the high line. Moore runs the low line. Moore's better off the corner, but Davidson's better with the run. Whoa, hang on to her, Gary. Great save by the 8 car there. I thought he was going around for sure. Moore finally, I think, cleared Davidson just a skosh. Might have finally gave him just enough of a squeak of room to breathe. That definitely doesn't give the 10 car much room, though, because that 19 is about to be right on his heels again. Look at the run Davidson can get coming off the corner. Moore has the better mid-corner, but Davidson exits just so much faster. The advantage is neutralized. Just like that 2 laps later, I think we're about to go side by side again. If not this time by, not far in the future. Right to his rear bumper now goes the 19. He's going to run that middle line he's so good at. I believe this is going to get him close. He's going to dive low. Down the backstretch, door to door. Here we go again. The roles are reversed. This time it's the 10 on the high and the 19 on the low. They're going to take each other's preferred lines. So how well can they run the opposites line? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Caution is out. Caution is out. Caution is out. Big wreck. Big wreck. Good avoidance there by the 8 of Greenlee. That's why I threw the caution. I had a hunch. Yeah, look how close this was for Greenlee in the 8. Wow! Woo! That's why that was worthy of a caution. Hood going to be able to drive that back and not lose a lap. I think he's got control of that car. Well, he might be going just a little too fast. That car must not drive as bad as it looks because he's going around the track one more time. I'm sure that thing's got to be meatballed with that. Yeah, he's meatballed, all right. Holy smokes. Yeah, he'll be able to get that back around to pit road and get that machine repaired. And that is a golden ticket for the 5 car of Hilker as well, who had fallen well back off of the lead. He was back almost 13 seconds last time I saw. I'm sure that is a sigh of relief from the driver of the 5, as it gives him the chance to reset and get back into the game. Don't be surprised to see everybody come down here. 10, 19, 8, 5, and 13 all coming down to pit the attention of their crews. I'm sure we'll see a fast repair here from the 13 of Hood. He's really got not much of a choice. 5 car, if he's got any damage, looks to be pretty superficial. So it might not surprise me to see him hold that.
Do the shameless plug.
Ah, yes. Speaking of our shameless plug, as we watch our pit road cruise here, let me switch over to the right car. Rear chase. Do we have a car rocking that logo tonight? No, one of them does. Where's it at? We don't actually have a car repping it tonight. Weird. I'm used to having one. Either way, since we don't have a car, I'll just do the shameless plug. Down there on the bottom left side of your screen, you'll see our advertising ticker with our logo and a couple of other items on it. One of those is W Energy, a sponsor here of the channel. So if you want, yep, right there it comes up, right on cue. If you want a refreshing, cool drink that's not horrible for you, go check out W Energy, and you can use...
We'll be choosing this time by.
Use code CSCRL for 10% off your next order. And that has been our shameless advertising plug of the evening. Greenlee with some right front damage on that car, opts not to get it fixed. Must have been too much damage, too much of a time sink. Davidson high, Moore low, Greenlee low, Hood high, and the 5 car Hilker, who extended stay on pit road. He will go low as well. I think I've seen this movie before, but now the 5 goes from the front of the line to the back of the line. Other than that, it's almost identical to our first caution's restart. How about that? All right. Coming around this time by 61 of 80 complete. This will be about 18 laps to go as they come by this time. Car, your leader still. I do believe he'll be the control car for this restart. 19, Davidson outside. No, I take it back. 19 car must have been the control car. 19 fired off just a little bit quicker there. Door to door for the 8 and the 13 back there for third. Hilker with his freshly repaired car. Don't look now. He's trying to take that thing back to the front. As we watch our drivers put some laps in here, I am going to mute myself. This is your Crank It Up section of the race. Enjoy the sounds of these ARCA cars. That was your Crank It Up moment of the race. As we watch Moore getting a good run here on the 19, and don't look now, but Hood wants a piece of this action as well. There are only about 14 laps, make that 13 left to go in this session. And that means it's time to step on that go pedal and start setting up a run. Because if you don't start now, you're going to run out of time in a hurry. 19 car gets a little piece of that outside wall on the exit of 2. Great examples of the multi-groove racing you can have here at Vegas. The 19 on the wall, the 13 running the middle, the 10 car running low, and all of them making almost identical lap times every time by. Let's take a look at those lap times. Oops, wrong camera. Hey. There we go. Moore, 29,888. Davidson, 30.018, which is odd since he didn't lose time to him. And Hood, 29,926. They're all running within about a tenth of each other here. And they're all making it work. Davidson all the way up high. He's scraping the wall on entry. Holy mackerel. Watch for him to get a run here on the 10 car. He's going to try to make it a big old wind-up. See if he can throw a pitch and make it hit the mark. Moore goes down, takes the air off the 13. Tries to get a little bit of an arrow push on him. 13 and 19, both chasing down the driver of the 10. 3-car race out front. Greenlee, unfortunately, fell back out of the pack. He's only about 3 seconds behind, but he is still nursing it around there. And Hilker with a trouble on that last restart. He's back out into the mess. He's about 18 seconds back off the leaders. Moore still out front, but Davidson lurking ever closer. 8 to go. Who's going to take home the checkers? Moore, Davidson, or Hood? 2 Toyotas and a Mustang duking it out. Hood lost a little time on that lap. Davidson did not. I think Chris Hood's got enough car. He's hanging right with them, but he needs to be closer if he wants to set up a pass for the win. Davidson, on the other hand, is in prime time condition for this. He's got to make his move at the right time because you cannot waste your momentum. You have to make it build up, and you have to pull off the fake. Or the over-under, or get the right kind of run out of the corner. You need something. Moore able to keep the hammer down. Had an advantage off of 4. But Davidson's high line gave him the momentum. Coming off a 2. He's chewing on the bumper to the 10. High line versus low line. Clean air versus dirty. Davidson needs to get just a little bit closer going into the corner. Here it comes. Davidson's going to look underneath of the 10. This is the move I've been waiting for. I knew it was coming, I just didn't know when. Hilker does the gentlemanly thing, moves down off the racing line for the leaders. Definitely has damage at that pace. Unable to keep the hammer down, though, for Davidson. He loses that inside run. And with only 4 laps remaining, it's go time. No more time for dawdling. If you want to make a move at the win, you've got to get ready to start doing it right now. Hood not able to really make any meaningful ground on these top 2 drivers. Unless he's got something up his sleeve. He needs to start using it right now. 19 with a big toe down the front stretch. Taps the wall on entry. Slows him down. Advantage again back to the 10. Ryan Moore has to be loving what he's seeing right now. Clean road, clear air over the front of that Toyota. And Zach Davidson, who's throwing everything he's got at the wall. And so far, nothing is sticking. Two to go, excuse me. Caution flag is out. Caution flag is out. Hilker went around. That will bring out our first green-white checkered of the race. Oh man, Greenlee got a big piece of him there. Yep, that was a big caution. Good on Gary there. I was following the battle for the lead. That was definitely worthy of a caution as Hilker gets that car righted and turned around. Excuse me. Greenlee and Hilker more than likely going to catch up to the pack and then come down pit road for some damage repairs. Hilker's car, surprisingly, doesn't look all that bad. He is 1 lap down. I believe this will get him his lap back. Actually, I take that back. He was involved in the caution, so he will not get the lucky dog. Greenlee's car not sounding healthy. Five car going to come down pit road. Wisely checks up so he doesn't get a penalty for passing. I messed that up, parking it for the mistake. Understandable. I wasn't sure. The motor sounded a little choppy. That might have just been iRacing's audio then. Greenlee going to park it. He is going to relinquish the 5th place spot to himself and let Hilkerd go up to 4th after and taking him out inadvertently. Moore going to win the race off of pit road here. Davidson, no, Hood! Misjudged where Derek was going, couldn't get it low. Understandable. Easy to do. You hate to see it, but like I said, understandable. It's part of racing, unfortunately. You're going to have those incidents, I'm afraid. I can't remember if this is our first green-white checkered of the year, but I know we haven't done one of these very often. So, if you do not know the rules of the green-white checkered, let's go over how they work. Rules are simple. You come to the green flag with 2 to go. The pace car will pull off. Race will restart as normal. If all the drivers can make it around the track, they will come around to the white flag. When the white flag is in the air, that means the next flag ends the race. Doesn't matter if it is checkered, yellow, red, whatever. If it's a flag, it's over. We're done. If there's a yellow before our drivers get to that white flag, anytime in that first lap, the yellow will come out. Green-white checkered attempt number 2 will then take place. Drivers will have an opportunity to make yet another pit stop if they so choose. They will stack them, rack them, and restart, wipe the slate clean, and do it all over again. There's a potential of 3 total green-white checkers. If we hit the end of the 3rd green-white checker, the yellow comes out, and on the 3rd green-white checkered, before the white flag airs, the race will be called as it is. All drivers will be instructed by iRacing to follow the iRacing rules and instructions, and whoever is in the lead at the time of the caution, if everybody stays in line as they should, that driver in the lead will come around and win the race under the yellow flag. With only 4 cars, I don't anticipate getting there. But 4 drivers all going hard. Could be possible to see somebody get into each other. And maybe something weird happen here for the 2nd green-white checkered. Moore, the control car, fires off. Hood on the high side did not match him very well. Hood going to drop in, draft off the 19. Remember, these drivers have to get around to the white flag for this race to be official. If anybody bins it or the yellow comes out, we will go around again. Moore took the safe line off of 2. Davidson's got to run. Davidson's going to try to ring that high side, take the momentum. 13 a Hood, right up to the back bumper. White flag is out. This race will end this time. Davidson running high. Moore running low. Hood running in 3rd. Who's going to take it? Coming out the 4. Davidson's going to have to try something here. He's got to get around that 10 car if he wants a chance at the win. He's going to run that middle line, try to get the momentum going. Can he edge the 10 out at the line? He doesn't get the run. Brian Moore wins it at Vegas. Zach Davidson 2nd, Chris Hood 3rd. Derek Hilker takes 4th. And Greenlee will finish this race from the pits in the 5th position. Brian Moore in the 10 car with a great showing here tonight. Very well-earned win. Where am I being pinged? Oh. Sorry, I had an alert on my thing. Somebody was trying to get a hold of me. Great win by Brian Moore there. He's going to burn those, what's left of those General tires down. Make sure he puts on a smoke show. Let's pull in our winner. Brian Moore, you've just won at Vegas. How do you feel?
Oh, I feel stressed, but I'm glad I did it, man. I knew 2 tires was the call there. Knew I had to keep that lead, and yeah, it worked out. But, man, Zach made me earn it.
I really thought that we had some good equal racing tonight. Zach on the high side, you on the low side. Chris could kind of run somewhere in the middle, and all three of you there for the back half of that race were very, very close to each other. It was a really fun thing to watch. How tight was it out there trying to keep them from getting the lead back from you?
Oh, I mean, I felt like I never was able to really get away. I felt like he had any slip up, we would have been neck and neck for laps.
So you're pretty much on the razor's edge to keep it where you were.
Exactly. Definitely was.
I cannot say I'm surprised. That was an awesome show you guys put on tonight. These cars really do put on a fun race here at Vegas. I think this type of track suits them because it's right on the ragged edge of what they can handle before it gets too big.
For sure. It was definitely a good race.
Well done. Congratulations. Definitely a great way for you to end your weekend in the points here before our off week. Of course, good luck here in the Sebring 12. I'll be running that next week along with you. So
Sure, thank you. Good luck to you as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we aren't on the two different versions of the same team, but even still, enjoy the off week. The knowledge you're finishing this week, pretty darn good in the points.
For sure.
I'll send you back now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome. That was Brian Moore, your winner here tonight. Let's pull in second place Zach Davidson. Zach Davidson, you couldn't quite get it done, but still a solid second place race tonight. What more did you need to get past Brian to get the job done?
A thicker front bumper, maybe. No, Brian did one heck of a job. I'm sure you guys were watching from the booth, but I was doing the best I can to try to get a run on the high side. He was just wrapping the bottom so well through 3 and 4, and I could not for the life of me get my tires to hold on. There were a few times where I got alongside him, underneath him on 3 and 4, but I couldn't keep it from getting tight and washing up, so he would just power back by me. So I felt like my only hope was on the high side.
And I've noticed it was fun to watch because you were on the high side and you had this really good ring of momentum going. But he was really good on the low side, keeping the speed up and taking the shorter path around, and it was making this really cool like ebb and flow where sometimes you'd get a crazy good run and you just couldn't quite make it happen sometimes, and it made for a really entertaining like ebb and flow yin and yang style race. And then you had Chris running the middle right behind you trying to take as much clean air as he could from the gap. I'm like, man, that really shows how fun these cars are here because they're just so equal no matter where you're running. As long as you drive it right, you can really make the most of it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. If it was green up until the end, I got to be honest, I knew Brian was burning everything off his tires, or I felt like he was. So I had something planned for the last corner because I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I was actually checking up my my throttle a lot going into 3, entering higher, and then trying to kind of diamond my way out to a low apex coming out of 4. I noticed some momentum gain there, and I thought maybe I could drag race him to the line, but no luck.
You actually did that at one point in the race. I had mentioned that. And then you came to the line, door to door. You actually edged him by 1/1000th of a second at the line on like lap 50 something, if I remember right. And I'm like, I bet you he's trying to set that up for the win. I didn't say that, but I'm like, I bet that's a strategy he may be thinking about using later on, and it just you couldn't pull it off with that late race run with his 2 good tires on there. His rubber was just enough to hold up, I think.
That, and I had to be extra careful around the wall because, unfortunately, through the kerfuffle that happened between Derek and I was rocking 16X. So if I brushed the wall too hard, I was out. I was DQ'd.
I didn't realize you were that high on incident points. Holy mackerel.
Yep. A couple wall brushes, and then again that little bit with Derek where I was trying to squeeze in on the high side, and he was trying to come up and keep me behind him, and it just all kind of added up to get me to 16.
They stack up quick sometimes, but regardless, you were able to keep the car clean. Couldn't get the win done, but a second place finish, certainly never a bad way to go out for the night, and good solid points for you. Hopefully we'll see you here a couple of weeks from now when we come back.
Definitely won't turn my nose up to it, but thank you for having me.
Heck yeah, and tell Trevor we wish he could have made it tonight, and hopefully he got his subscription renewed.
I'll say it in less kind words.
All right,
See you later.
I'll send you back. Have a great night.
Yeah.
And of course, that was your first and second place drivers of Brian Moore and Zach Davidson. Zach's fourth time Zach wrecking the season. I was done after that. Yeah, that was. I watched that wreck from behind, and it looked like there was a gap there. He decided to go for it at the exact same time that you decided to go up and block him, and it just kind of ended in a unfortunate way. So, hate to see it, Derek, but that's, again, part of racing. You're like Denny Hamlin right now. You're racing really good, but your luck's kind of shit. It's unfortunate, but it is the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So we wish you better luck. Hopefully it'll turn your way here eventually. You're still winning some good races and doing well in the points. So despite your struggles, you're still in pretty darn good shape. Speaking of, let's go check the points, because I haven't done that in a while. Whoops. Nope, that's for later date. Seasons. View, yeah. You're still second in the points despite all your trouble. So, not too bad tonight. And Xavier, he didn't even show up tonight, and he still got the points lead. Those 3 wins to start the season really working out good for him. Holy mackerel. We've got a pretty good dispersion. We had a 3-time winner, of course, but we got a win, a win, a win, and a win here. So we're seeing pretty good dispersion from these drivers. Not too bad at all. With that said, we are going to be off next weekend. Our drivers will be participating, at least a large portion of them, me included. We will be running the 12 Hours of Sebring for Team Raceline. So, if you want to watch, please, please, please come check us out. I don't know if there will be more people streaming other than me, but I know I will be. And if there are other people streaming as well, of course, I will be able to direct you from there. So if you want to come and support us, that would be greatly appreciated. We're running the noon time slot next weekend. 12 Hours of Sebring, Porsche 911 GT3 RS. You can come follow my personal Twitch, twitch.tv/SojiCicada, if you want to come and watch the 12 Hours of Sebring go down. We will not be broadcasting it on this channel, as Gary is the one who usually does that for his POV, and he will not be running this weekend. He has some family in town and cannot participate, unfortunately. So, but we will be back in 2 weeks' time. I got it wrong last week. I thought we were off this week, but I forgot we moved it all around. So, 2 weeks' time from now, the Late Model Tour. That's the standings on what the schedule. There it is. The Late Model Tour will return in April, because, of course, the last weekend of the month is Sebring. We will be back at the High Bank Concrete Coliseum of Bristol in the late models on Friday night. That will be April the 3rd, 150-lap feature there. Should be a pretty darn good show. Excited to see what we've got going on there. And then in the Touring Championship, of course, we're off next weekend for that as well. So we will return on April the 4th with our first road course race of the season. Our drivers will be taking the entry-level road course racing cars, which are the Toyota GR86 and the Mazda MX-5, around the Charlotte Roval. That will be a multi-class race. However, we are doing points based on overall position, as the MX-5 and GR86s are right on about even level punching with each other in terms of lap times. The GR86 is faster in the technical sections and through the bus stops, But the MX-5 makes up the time on the straights and the banking, as it has less downforce, so it can go faster in a straight line. So that will be an interesting mix-up. And then, of course, in the Touring Championship, we've got another couple of interesting races coming up with Auto Club in the IR-18 and our GT4 event at Watkins. But until 2 weeks from now, that's all for me, folks. For the CSC race... Yeah, what's up?
1 second. Just a reminder for anybody that watches this, the Roval race, it will be based on your overall finishing position, not from the class.
Yep.
I've got that set.
Yep, I mentioned that because the lap times are so close that it's like, do you want more cornering or more top speed? But the lap times are similar enough that we're having them go, head to head on each other.
Yeah, so we won't have a situation like we did last year with that craptacular IndyCar race.
Yep, well, that's we have the normal IndyCar race coming up, but that's just one car on that now. So.
Yep. Since I know everybody had the IR-18, I just didn't know last year who didn't have it, and it's like, oh, I'm the only car, so I had to take off like 30 points for me for that.
Yeah, well, we wanted to make the free car an option, but the only person that ran the free car was you, and it's like, okay, if everybody's got it then. So kind of unexpected. Our efforts to make it more accessible ended up being for naught. So odd. But I will say, great race tonight. I feel like these cars really put on a good show here at Vegas. Even when people would get out to a little bit of a lead, you could reel them back in because the cars are so evenly matched that it wasn't overpowered. People weren't able to have a runaway, which was really fun to watch.
And even at times, doing something weird, like for me, early in a run, I could lift a little bit in turns 3 and 4 and then get back on it, and I could catch them. But then once I got a few laps on the tires, they just got too hot and buggered off.
That's why I recommended this car track combo, because I ran this once before, and I remember the cars were evenly matched, but they also raced really well here, and the tires fell off just right for the racing to be really even and kind of fun to where you could mix and match and kind of dice it up with people.
Yeah, I remember when we raced it in a different league for whenever the cars first come out. Yeah, it was a fun race. It was better than the Homestead race we had.
Yeah, did we run these at Homestead? Or was that the...
Yeah, no, it was these.
Because the other one that was bad was Xfinity at Old Atlanta that didn't go very well either.
Oh, no. That was our race. That was our league race last year, but for the other league.
Okay, that Homestead. Yeah, okay, I know what I thought you were talking our race. We didn't do that.
No.
But no, I remember that. You're right. Yeah, Homestead, they don't work as well. There's something about the Vegas combo with these cars that just works. Yeah. And it's so much fun. That's like, if you're going to run the ARCA cars anywhere, either run them at a road course, weirdly, because they do well there, they're fun to drive, or just take them to a place like Vegas. That's about as big of a track as they can handle.
Yeah.
But...
All right. Well, I'll let you finish up. I'll catch you later.
Sounds good. Thanks for the input, Gary.
Yeah.
That was Gary Greenlee, driver of that number 8 Moser Racing machine tonight. Hey, thank
Say
you.
his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Cut 39 cheered 16.
Thank you for the 16 bits, Chris. I don't know why our alert sound is Joe Hendry. I'll have to ask Gary about that sometime. But either way, that was a fun race. Glad we were able to put on a good show for you folks tonight. That's going to do it for us. We'll see you here in 2 weeks' time for the CSC Racing League. My name is Soji Sakata. Have a good, safe weekend and safe upcoming week or two. And we will be back for the first weekend in the month of April. Have a great night. Hey! 59 more bits from Chris.
He appears.
What a way to end stream.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Cut 39 cheered 59.
Thank you for the 59 bits, Chris. Much appreciated. What random... Like, I get the first time was 13 bits, wasn't it? Oh, 16. I was to say 13 makes sense. That's his car number. But I don't know.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
All right. Thank you all very much. Have a great night. We'll catch you next time. Good night.
Yeah, well, the son of a bitch just slammed into me.
No, he didn't slam into you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.